Hello, good people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're really excited to have you again. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, has given explanation why the federal government is seeking for more loans from European countries, and you're going to get to hear the reason. Currently, Nigerians are really crying out over the debt profile of the country. It has thing escalated to 4.1 trillion naira right now. So Nigerians are not happy with the way things are going on, but he has stated the reason why the federal government still needs more loan. We're going to be looking at these in a jiffy, but before we do that, if you've not subscribed to our channel, please do well to hit on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our videos. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, has explained why the federal government of Nigeria is seeking more loans from European banks to complete its railway infrastructures before the expiration of the current political dispensation. Amaechi, while filing questions from State House correspondents after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting regarding recent claims that Nigeria was no longer getting loans from China for its real project, prompting the Nigerian government to turn its attention to Europe, explained that delays from Chinese necessitated the move. Although the minister failed to give details of the loan being sought from the European banks, he however said that of Kanu Maradi has received a favorable response from one of the banks, while that of Port Harcourt Meduguri is also looking positive. In his word, he said that it was during the press interview that I made that comment, and I said currently we are actually waiting for the Chinese to give us the loan we applied for, and they keep delaying us, and for Christ's sake, should we wait for them forever? The answer is no. So we have gone to Standard Chartered Bank, which has approved our request. They have not done financial closure, but have approved some level of funding for the Kanu Maradi Rail project. We are also pursuing Port Harcourt Meduguri with Standard Chartered Bank. These two essential, these two essentially, the Lagos Kanu part of it will come from the top financial banks or some banks in China. Asked how much is being expected in total, the minister said, I don't have that figure here. I have to go back to the office. Recall that Amaechi had been under attack on social media after his comment that the Chinese were no longer interested in granting Nigerian loan for its railway project. Because I recall that the National Assembly and the federal government were pitched against each other owing to the rising debt profile as a result of borrowing from the Chinese government to facilitate the real project. I don't know what is happening, but looking at the position of the Minister of Transportation, it therefore means that Nigeria, before the end of this current administration, the debt portfolio of the country may have skyrocketed to a level where the new administration will have to, do some abracadabra to be able to sustain itself and also execute some project. Because I'm just wondering, first of all, before we start thinking about the issue of railway as a major infrastructure, we should also be looking at the profitability level of it. How much fund is it generating? If those funds it is generating, is it enough to pay off all the loans that have been gotten for the railway business? I'm telling you, as at now, Nigeria is in a dilemma. I'm telling you, we are watching ourselves every day nose dive into debts, and these loans that we are getting, we can't really point at something very useful we are using it for. Personally, I had believed that if we are seeking for a loan, it should be to see how we can, fix our refineries. Make sure that this issue of, fuel subsidy and all of that is a thing of the past. But unfortunately, that is not what we are seeing right now. As of now that we're talking, the debt profile of the country has risen to as much as 4.2 trillion naira. And with the situation of things on ground, I don't even think that the internally generated revenues in the country can take care of all of it. And I'm just wondering, I've been hearing a lot, we've been hearing a lot about how disturbed the senior president is in respect to, the rising debt profile. But that is not what will solve the problem. I feel that as at now, Nigeria needs to cut down on the wastages that we have had thus far. We need someone who can cut the losses and waste that we have in the country. There are a lot of things that should be some agencies are dual in this country. One should be closed down and the other given enormous responsibility. For example, having somewhere like ICPC and EFCC, both of them are after financial misappropriation, fraud, and all of that. Why are we keeping these two offices? That's a way of wasting Nigerian resources. Now, even the issue of saying we are giving constituency money to our senators to help fix their constituency is not important. Why don't you budget it in such a way that a particular, agency will be responsible in fixing those things? Let's just see how we can cut down this waste, because I mean, getting excited that a particular region or a particular continent is giving you money as loan for you to spend on something we are not even sure enough that is going to generate so much for us. It's really, really, really unthinkable. The debt profile, as we are looking at it is moving upward. It is moving upward on a daily basis. And I mean, the data are not interesting. When you get it from a data management office, it's not interesting. It's quite unfortunate that there is nothing to show for all this debt that we have been getting. Nigerians are still suffering. Right now, the situation on ground, I think that even for, the recurrent expenditure, we are going to be getting, loans to even pay them at a point. I mean, we have to do, the government needs to wake up and let's see how we can forget about this loan thing and see how we can dip into the economy, cut down on a lot of things. And that's why people are calling someone like Peter Obi to come on, because if this man comes on board, he will help fix these wastages that we are seeing here and there. I mean, it's not, imagine if as at, let me say, 15 months to go, or for this administration, we are already at 4.2 trillion. The next government that is coming on board, how are they going to run the show? And guess what? Some of these loans, they have not even started carrying out the repayment. You understand? By the time they start carrying out the repayment, it's not going to be interesting at all. I think something drastic must be done in this regard so that Nigeria at least can, stop this borrowing, because this borrowing is not good for us. I'm telling you, $3 billion debt is not a good one at all. Far back when we had the little people were shouting and screaming, and we thought, oh, this thing is doing this and doing that. The government is not doing. Today, look at the situation we found ourselves. It's not interesting at all. I don't know what will be done, to see how we can cut down some of this big chunk of national budgets, put them sidewards, and see how we can run the show at least to end this administration on high. I like to leave it there. Sirab had already filed lawsuit against the federal government over, the loans and huge debt profile. I don't know how they feel like, continually borrowing more and more, and even getting excited that they are even borrowing. It's really, really troubling. I'm telling you, we have to see how we can bring someone who had the way without, to cause this country to flow at the right direction. I like to leave it there.